How are you? Yeah, I'm doing their audio only. Why? There is some things I like to do via the Zoom. This is one of them. Yeah, that and it's a whole process sometimes of this getting stuff together, angling, and sometimes gotta take a break from filming. So here's the news. Chuck Norris passed away last week. I should say this is March 24th, 2026, and 86 years old. Chuck Norris, famous, other than the jokes of, hey, you can't, what did, you know, Chuck Norris do with a bird hit two rocks or something like that? You know, those bad jokes like that. I don't know exactly where those jokes originated. It must be from like the 80s or something. But when I was growing up in the 90s, I am a child in the 90s. Walker, Texas Ranger was the show to be every Saturday night. I believe it was Walker, Texas Ranger, and then, oh gosh. Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. I gotta say, for being on CBS, Chuck Norris kicked butt. Yeah. And of course, there's the running joke of on Talladega Nights, naming your kid both Walker and Texas Ranger. Yeah, but I guess he was a big karate guy in the 70s. And it's got really famous in the 80s because he was doing all those canon movies. Like Delta Force, Delta Force 2, Invasion. Was it Invasion USA? Or it's just Invasion. But, yeah, him and like Bruce Lee were like buddies in the 70s. Steve McQueen was his student or something. Breaker was another movie he was in. Actually, he was a U.S. Air Force guy in the 58 to 62. He's an airman. You don't see a whole lot of Air Force actors. A lot of them are like the Marines or Navy or the Army. And no, once again, Chuck Norris is a standout guy. So yeah, and Joe Rogan was inspired him to do karate again and the whole mixed martial arts thing. And I think in somewhere, and I have UFC 1 on DVD. Chuck Norris goes, "Hey, is this legal?" And it's like a title of a book about the years leading up to the first UFC event. It was on 605 Podcast, the writer. It's one of those great things about doing audio. You can. This is legal by Art Davey. It came out 10 years ago. And so that book is out. It is. Yeah. It's on. I know it's on the bulk. The bulk of the 605 podcast series. I know that. But anyways, Chuck Norris. You know, other than Walker's Take a Ranger, I was, he, didn't really watch any of the movies growing up. And I don't know if you can hear him. My neighbor's 2 houses down's truck. You can hear the rumbling. But, yeah, the Walker Texas Ranger ran for 8 years. I mean, of course, his movies. I mean, hell, he even had a video game. He had a video game in 1984. Dodge. He did drive a Dodge Ram in Walker, but yeah, this pulling up his Wikipedia movies. First movie was in '68, The Wrecking Crew. Was this an extra? He was in Way of the Dragon. That's Bruce Lee. Breaker. Good Guys Wear Black. The Octagon. A Force of One. He also was a choreographer. It's kind of like Lee Ermey on Full Metal Jacket, being, the drill instructor and, the guy who knew the shit. Force Vengeance, Lone Wolf McCoy. There's actually, maybe it's in Lone Wolf McCoy, but I remember watching with my dad this movie on MeTV, and we love the riff, these silly movies. And like literally walks in, opens the refrigerator. Me, never seen this movie in my life. He goes, "Where's the damn bear?" He goes, "Where's the bear?" It's like, whoa. Funny. I know. That's a very humorous story, Joe. Missing in Action 2, back to back. Invasion USA, Delta Force, Missing in Action 3, Delta Force 2, The Hitman. I actually have The Hitman on DVD. It was part of the Canon 5-pack I got like 10 years ago. Top Dog? Do I have that? And he was in The Extendable 2. Also, yeah, he made a couple appearances in the WWF. He superkicked Double J Jeff Jarrett at Survivor Series 1994. And he actually got an interview with Mean Gene Okerlund at WrestleMania 7. Him and this guy named Donald Trump. That billionaire guy. Yeah, there's literally, if you slow down it, I actually have a little frame. Maybe I'll insert it when I find it. Of when two passes of the night, a future president and Chuck Norris. Like Chuck Norris, man. 86. He, let's see. So, his first movie was 68. First thing was 68, so, yeah. And he was just, everybody nowadays does jiu-jitsu, does these karate stuff, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, judo, all this stuff. It's like um, Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee, the two cats that started pretty much mixed martial arts in the United States. Bold statement. Yeah. But Chuck Norris, man. Yeah. I mean, can't get more Americana than that. So, man. All the heroes are going away. Gone away. This is going to be a recurring segment. Hey, this guy died. Hey, this guy I like died. Hey, he's dead. Oh well. Now, turn to somebody who is very much alive and lives in Central Illinois. SNL alum, Chris Kattan. Chris Kattan actually did like a mini tour of the state. He had 4 weekends, did like 8 cities or something like that, maybe 6 cities. From Rockford, small town like a Jacksonville, Illinois. He lives not too far in the ritzy side of town, Chatham. But I think he commutes. I think he has a place in L.A. still. But I think him as I'm going to say now wife because I haven't really heard anything besides, hey, Chris Kattan of Saturday Night Live, he got engaged. Nothing else beyond that. And he does this weird character. He has a weird character now. He does these little Facebook reels of this. It's kind of difficult to describe. Um, um, Lame, it's too harsh, but it's kind of weird. Even though Chris Kattan's a weird guy, but it's just kind of like, he's wearing this long, big hat, has a scarf over his neck, trying to look like a cowboy. It's weird. Yes. So, anyways, he did a show in Bloomington. I had to pull it up. I know I should, I should do prep, but sometimes I just like to put one of these things out. But you just small gigs, these small venues. Maybe you did it for this extra money. Who knows? Um, hasn't done anything. Well, I guess Jacksonville's locally. It's only like 20 minutes away. But it's like he hasn't really done anything in the capital city. But yeah, he's just kind of like a weird, low key guy. And apparently he was at work one time too, when I wasn't there with the girlfriend, which I would be like, kind of spazzing out because I grew up in that Saturday Night Live era, that really great resurgence of the '90s into early 2000s with like Sherry O'Terry, Molly Shannon, um, Jimmy Fallon before he got really all hooked on sauce. Will Ferrell, that great early 2000 Saturday Night Live cast. Catan was on there until like maybe '08 or like really long time. I think they tell like boot his ass out. It's like enough. We get it. You're doing your Mr. Peepers routine again. Really, Mr. Peepers in space? Maybe. I always thought Sherry O'Terry was very funny on that show during that era. Send me down now. Sherry O'Terry should have been really big. Unfortunately, Tina Fey came in and steamrolled that. But Sherry O'Terry, hilarious, funny. And it sucks that someone as funny as Sherry O'Terry didn't get as big of a push in Hollywood because she had the cheerleader bit. She had the old lady who was hooked on like cough syrup or something, and the Staten Island mom, and the Simmer Down Now character. So, she had range. The only really thing I've seen her majorly was when they did that Dumb and Dumber 2 prequel to Dumb and Dumber. And that's a funny fucking movie. Shit. But, yeah, Sherry O'Terry, very, very underrated. Even like Molly Shannon, it's kind of underrated too. Even though Molly Shannon had superstars. She did one movie. She had one movie. Yeah. So, anyways, Chris Kattan mini tour. Oh yeah, and Chris Kattan is doing like a public appearance in September, part of the Route 66 Mother Road Festival, because it's the 100th anniversary of the Route 66. Yeah, I think the Route 66 is very overrated. Very overrated idea. There are people be like, "Oh, it's a bucket list to go on the Route 66." Be like how people drive on a 2-lane road from Chicago to Los Angeles. Yeah. I actually watched a video of the darker side of the Route 66. There's a place in Oklahoma that was like a lead mining town, and it's abandoned town now, like up until like 2018, and now it's a ghost town. But like at the 1940s, when it was like booming, it was like 20,000 people. Then eventually, hey, it got less and less people because, well, they found out, it was they found lead. It was a lead mine, and the runoff of the water in the mine got into the water, and everybody kind of had deep birth. Ugh, big word for me today. Birth defects. Some, had cancer. This really bad stuff. Eventually the government just paid everybody off to, hey, we're shutting this place down. The entire town is shut down. So it's like a whole couple of YouTube videos like that. But that one I really watched stood out. Like I said, it's the only one I even watched. So That's interesting. The dark side of Route 66 road. Of course, then again, it is a 2-lane road. I understand it's the importance of, hey, it was for 1926. It was the first major asphalt road from California to Chicago, and you only could go like 30 miles per hour. But also, you gotta remember places like in Arizona, New Mexico, Oklahoma, it's a way, 1926, there's no gas stations, there's no Hotel 6, there's no durians. There you can go hours in the pitch black, 2-lane road, going 30 miles per hour in your jalopy. In a bear or something can come up and attack you from your car. Go off the road. And, the 20s and the 30s, there's some bank robbers too. They steal your car and whatnot. That's the real danger of the Route 66 back in the late 20s, early 30s. The bank robbers. Like Ma Baka and her gang and Bonnie and Clyde. Although I think didn't they die like in Arkansas or something like that. But yeah, Route 66 has a darker side. The darker side of Route 66. I mean, I get it. It's so famous that there is a show from the 1960s called the Route 66. I think it was like an anthology show or whatever. But still, that is like one of the dark side of Route 66. And in fact, like one tennis player who was on the Crime and Sports and did it on this guy, like old tennis guy, and he was traveling from Phoenix to Los Angeles, crashed his car in the middle of Nowheresville, and really fricked up his tennis career, even though he was like pushing 30. So, yeah. Route 66, it's overrated. But then, yeah, that's just my opinion. But there are people who say, yeah, hey, let's travel like in 1930. Let's do the Route 66. Let's go to Nowheresville, not New Hampshire, New Mexico. Let's go to nowhere, no truth or consequence in New Mexico. Let's see what Cactus Jack is doing. See if him and Dewey are doing okay. Anyways, yeah. So lately, I've been looking at vans, and you ask yourself, well, like a minivan, the Voyager, Joe? No, this. I love those 70s shaggin' wagons, with the awesome airbrush side, the shag carping, the really bitchin' sound system. You kind of know the ones I'm talking about. Yeah. Like, I've been kind of searching, there's no straight up vans like that anymore. It's straight up work van, like a work van. Like, you go ask the John Q. Plumber to come over and, fix your shit pipes, and, that's what this cargo van's kind of everything looks like. There's no, like, actual Econolog vans anymore. course, it's all tied up with EV, electronic vehicles, and gas mileage, all that happy horse shit. And it sucks being now that there's no variety in vans. Hell, even cars and trucks, there's no variety. But let's actually just, just kind of watch people custom inside these new cargo vans. Yeah, it's not. It's like, oh, let's make a mini house. Let's make a mini house inside my my van. I'm more like, come on, where's the shag carpeting, man? You can put a little bitch in sound system. I get the idea of maybe having a bed in there, but you're just turning into like a mini camper. You, you know, go on a little camping trip, but still, the idea of camping is kind of rough in it. You know, poop in the woods, forage your own food. But if you got a dirty inn inside your car, I mean, what's the point of going? You know, I miss that aspect of the American culture of, you know, people have panel wooding in vans. There was a little turntable. I think even my grandfather had kind of like a van where it was a rug van. It had like a bench seat that was cushioned, maybe one captain seat, and there was like a little table to the side. This was long ago, so I was a little feller. So this was long ago, 40 years. But it's like, come on, folks, come on, even like, there's not even a damn painting on the side of your van. Oh, well, let's go out, take our van. Let's not even paint it up. Come on, I get it. Artwork is very fucking expensive. You have to come up with a design, get a guy who can airbrush. You gotta find like Reno Hightower type of good painter. But if you're just gonna leave your outside blank, what's the point? You know. Add some uniqueness to your life. If you're going to van stock, at least, paint up that wagon of yours. I guess the original idea of this was one. Yeah, I have a page I love going on Facebook called the Boogie Van. It's people showing all their custom vans out. It's like, oh, that's so fucking cool. I I wish I had something like that, especially like just the airbrush. This idea of having some unique character to your car. There's no character to cars anymore, and you know, sure it's nice to have a little washroom inside your car, but come on, where's the fun in that? Where's the baby white bath? I guess, and also the original idea for this is like there's like a music festival, like country festival in Bloomington. Like the idea is to like instead of parking your car and walking 2 miles, especially those chicks who wear cowboy boots and their half filled with blood by the end of the night, and when they're walking back, their feet are covered, muddy, and their $300 pair of white boots are uh, um, in their hands, and they're crying, "Ah, my feet hurt," you know. But there is a rec RV type thing where it'd be like, okay, I can drink all night or day drink, have party, listen to Chris Ford, and you know, I don't have to go home. I don't have to drive. I don't have to walk back to my car. I'm planning to come back, and I don't have to deal with the traffic. So I have everything there, and why would I pay for a big RV vehicle where I can just crash in my car or crash in my car? I mean, Meyer, not Meyer, but Menards sells sparkle buckets. Okay, there's your hint. There's your portable John. Just live outside when to repel the skunks and whatnot. So you know, you don't really see the videos like that for custom vans for festivals, but you can do something like that. Yeah. So, but who knows? Will I buy a van and trick it out? Maybe. I don't know. Still looking. Still, but I still would love a solid bitch and art job. So, yeah. Anywho, I guess to round out stuff from today. Went to Walmart last week. I love to go through the DVDs, of course. I love my DVDs. And CDs. I still buy CDs. Why not? They're a little bit cheaper than downloading. And plus you have a physical copy. So I picked up something special. The Limp Bizkit is about have a weird resurgence lately, and last time I checked, they're on tour with Corey Feldman. So, anyways, their 1998 album, their one big album, had songs like Break Stuff and the cover of George Michael's Gotta Have Faith. I'm talking about the significant other album. The Nookie Break Stuff. Big hit, big new metal album. In fact, I was at ECW and Limp Bizkit had a show on the same night in Peoria. And if you search out Limp Bizkit, ECW, Steve Carino goes in to the main building at the Peoria Civic Center, where the hockey arena is, where the Bradley Braves play. He gets chair shot on stage. Now, when I went to that show, it was heavy security, as always, for a rock concert. And I was leaving, it was like a heavy smoke, too. Almost like a fire smoke, So, Significant Other was like a major new metal hit. And their follow up, I found chocolate starfish in the hot dog flavor water. This has, take a look around my generation, rolling, rolling, rolling. My way on the highway. So, big follow up to a bigger album. And overall, I think this is like their third CD in Chocolate Starfish. Yeah, third in. Then I kind of thinking, okay, let's put this up against Kid Rock's album, American Badass. American Badass came out same year in 2000. Previously, previously, Devil Without Cause came out in '98. Same other came out in '99. About a year apart, about 10 months apart. Now, kind of went thinking these came out right out at the same time. Um, hmm. Devil Without Cause is a great album, amazing album, and apparently it's called History of Rock, not American Badass. But that's um, but still around the same time. I guess head to head, you have to go with Limp Bizkit on this because um, you have a follow up to Devil Without Cause is a big bar, and American Badass just had the title song American Badass for Kid Rock. We're talking about, you know, so and of course Chocolate Starfish. The a lot of songs, especially Rolling, was a major radio play, and even The Undertaker, WWF legend, used it when he was doing the. No, wait, actually, he did use Kid Rock and Limp Bizkit. Whoa. I just realized that. Wow. Anyways, so I guess I'm saying that even though, not a Limp Bizkit guy, but you have to go with Chocolate Starfish, Heart of Flavor Water, if you're going with head to head follow up big hits. You know. I know that's just really obscure stuff. That's the kind of stuff I like to go head to head in my head. Head in my head. What's everybody want? Anyways. Yeah. That is some deep thoughts. Now, some deep thoughts. Yeah. And I think that this is pretty much the last really big album from Biscuit. Their next results may vary. This had like Behind Blue Eyes, a cover tune of The Who, and that was pretty much it till 2011. But Kid Rock kind of pumped out more albums, Cocky and Rock and Roll Jesus. Name a couple albums. I like Rock and Roll Jesus is pretty good. Low Life, love that song. Very underrated. Yeah. Anyways, I could really go on and talk about the new metal, but I don't know. My pants, work pants, dinged some 10 minutes ago. You know what? I guess you heard enough me talking, yapping for now. Until then, everyone stay safe, pray, and play something pretty for Stella. Good night, and whatever.